Hey guys, before we get started today, we are going to have a giveaway on the channel. You may recognize him from one of my other previous videos. We are going to be giving away the Link Legend of Zelda 30th Anniversary 8-bit Amiibo. I like him a lot. He's really cool. He actually even has a sword on his back. You can't see from here, but he has a sword on his back as well. Thought that was pretty cool when I first saw it. And we'll be giving him away. He does work in Breath of the Wild as well as Twilight Princess HD, Smash Brothers, and Hyrule Warriors. So if you want a chance to win this guy, all you have to do is leave a comment below. Multiple comments will not give you a better chance at winning. It's all done by unique users. So whoever will just take your usernames with like a lottery drawer and we'll pick a winner, and then this will be shipped out. That will be drawn on Monday. So you have between now and Monday to leave a comment. You can put anything you want. Also, give it a thumbs up if you could, please, but otherwise, just leave a comment and you will be entered to win. So let's talk about these Switch games coming out. I'm going to give you guys my top 5 most anticipated Nintendo Switch games coming up. These are ones that have been announced as of today, and after today, I'm sure more news will come out. We might even get announcements or even just more information. Honestly, if more information comes out about something like Shin Megami, my opinions could change. So, again, this is all opinion-based. This is not fact. I'm not saying one game's better than the other. These are just games I am the most excited for. So, first thing I need to do is give an honorable mention. This is going to go to 1-2-Switch. Unfortunately, if I had added it on this list, it would have taken up slots 5 through 1, and then no other game would have had a chance to be shown because 1-2-Switch will, of course, be Game of the Year. So, I need to leave that one out. I'm sorry if you're a 1-2-Switch fan. I hope you understand. So, the first game I'm looking forward to, this is number 5 on my list, is Fast RMX. Now, if you have not seen anything about this game, go check it out because it looks very similar to like F-Zero. I'm a big fan of the F-Zero racers. We have like the anti-gravity type games where you can just go at crazy speeds on racetracks that do things like tilt, turn, go upside down, flips. There's all kinds of really cool stuff they can do with the tracks. The scenery is really cool, and you kind of see off in the distance things going on, cities, buildings. You end up, I'm pretty sure there'll probably be levels where you actually wind through cities, much like they did in F-Zero. F-Zero on the GameCube was one of my favorite racers at the time. It was so much fun. I played it on the 64 a little bit, but the GameCube is really where I got into F-Zero. And really, there's just a lot of stuff they can do with this game, especially if they get into things like customizing the different vehicles you're using. And if they really nail the online service, so you can have things like time trials, you could try to race against your friend, even if they're not online, just by recording their time. So you have like a ghost version of them that you race. There's so much cool stuff you can do here, and I really hope that they get into the online service well, not like some gimped version of it. They could do things like full, World Cups with it, where you race multiple races against other people, big tournaments, player ranking. There's so much stuff they could do, and I hope they actually make it a game that they get behind rather than one they just kind of leave behind. Number 4 for me is ARMS. So, of course, when we first saw ARMS, it was a little odd. Some people kind of made fun of it, but the more gameplay I've seen for this game, the more sold I am getting on it. And it's good. It looks like a cool game in terms of just like a one-on-one fighter almost with different elements. So it's very different from a lot of them. I really like the look of it, where you are kind of at like a third-person right behind them view, much like how a Punch-Out would look. And I like the ability to customize your fighter's gloves, tape. They showed a lot more of it off. There's things you can do with motion control where you can turn your fist while you're swinging. You can curve it, and your punches and stuff will turn, curve. And I'd like the idea that you don't have to use motion controls if you don't want to. That was my big worry, is that we would be forced into using motion controls. They came out and said, no, you can also just turn motion controls off and use a controller if you want. I'm very happy that we're not having forced motion controls with a game that I'm sure could play great without them as well. I've said before, though, I really need to see if there is a full single player, if there are mild RPG elements where you maybe get stat points as you play through it. And I really want to see what the online service is like. I have to imagine this is going to have online, at least I would hope. And if Nintendo's going to make this big initiative for their online service to be good, most of the games that come out that appear to have online multiplayer or would work with it needs to have a solid online multiplayer with matchmaking and voice chat. And ARMS looks like the perfect game to do that. Number 3 is Mario Odyssey. Mario has always been a great game for any of Nintendo's systems, pretty much always. Whenever they make a platforming Mario game, it's always great. What I really like about Odyssey, though, is when I look at it, it really gives me, it really reminds me of Mario 64, and it reminds me of something like Mario Sunshine. I love the art style. It's very reminiscent of Mario Sunshine, actually. Just looking at Mario and his surroundings, very bright, colorful. I really like it. Galaxy was good. Shooting between the planets, I didn't like as much as just like a straight platforming Mario game, much like 64 and even Sunshine. So looking at this game, I realized that we're going to have a fully playable Mario game like this on the go with a portable unit that really just calls back to old school platforming 3D Mario, and I couldn't be more excited. I love the locations. They look so different from each other, and all of a sudden he's in New York City, it looks like. At least that's what it looks like. It's a basic city, but it looks like it's New York, I guess. And that is so unique and different from the usual Mario game that it really has me excited. It looks like there's a lot of exploration. You see him double jumping up buildings and everything. He has this new hat attack that he can actually also use to platform as well. So the game itself looks great. I'm gonna dump, I'm sure, tons of time into it. I like that it's coming out in the holiday seasons. That way I'll hopefully have been done, or at least played through Zelda and Xenoblade hopefully by then, and I can start on Mario. Now, number 1 and 2 I've been going back and forth on a lot. One of them is probably pretty obvious to you guys. The other one maybe not as much, but I'm just going to tell you number 2 now. And again, this is my opinion. This is not fact. I'm not saying this one's less than the first one, but number 2 is Breath of the Wild. And I know you guys are probably shocked. Why isn't Breath of the Wild number 1 for you? You'll find out soon. Breath of the Wild, of course, is one of the biggest anticipated games probably of the year, it is, because we've been waiting for a while. We've seen so much gameplay footage. We've seen so much footage in general. There's speculation all over the internet about the story, about where it plays in the timeline, and we haven't even played the thing yet. The world is massive. They've already said it dwarfs Skyrim's by a great deal, and it just comes up just a little bit short of Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Wii U, which that world was very big. That was a massive world, but it looks like Breath of the Wild is going to have a massive world. The art style is awesome. I really like the cel-shaded art style look of that game as opposed to a very realistic looking Zelda. I just think there's a lot more emotion that can be conveyed through those type of visuals, and it looks like it's just going to be a different type of Zelda game. We have the awesome voiceovers, and it looks super dramatic, and I'm just really excited to play it. I've been waiting forever. I'm very happy that there is a lot to do. Over 100 of the shrines, of course. They're saying like 5 to 6 dungeons, I think, but it looks like it's just going to be a game that's an easy 100 hours, no sweat. Here we go, guys. This is my number 1 most anticipated game on the Switch, and that is Xenoblade 2 or Xenoblade Chronicles 2. They're all kind of all over the place about that still. The person up on stage says Xenoblade Chronicles 2. The graphics says Xenoblade 2. I'm just going to say Xenoblade 2 from now on. Xenoblade 2 is my most anticipated game on the Switch. I love Xenoblade Chronicles X. I was a big fan of it. I got so much gameplay out of it, and it's an awesome RPG, and there's just so much to do in it. So naturally, I see the announcement for Xenoblade 2, and right away, that is the game I am looking forward to. There's no release date on it. It just says 2017 on their chart. I really want to play this game only because, again, I'm sure the world is going to be huge, just like Chronicles X was. I like the art style as well. They kind of went to more of an anime style visuals instead of trying to make it look more realistic. And it's going to be portable. That's the thing that really blows my mind, is that this is going to be a very large, graphically impressive, I think, overall, in the sense that it will be a handheld. It'll be graphically impressive, and I just really want to play a very long, very JRPG style game, and Xenoblade 2 looks like it's just going to fit the bill for that. But yes, guys, I am curious to hear what your top 5 most anticipated games are, or just your most anticipated game for the Switch as it is now. Even if you're not getting a Switch, let me know what game looks the best and which one you would get if you were getting the Switch, whether it be because you just can't get one right now, or the demand is so high you literally cannot find one. So let me know what you guys think of, though. I would really appreciate your opinions on this, and make sure you comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you next time.